Welcome, everybody, to the final day of the 2023 Summit League Tournament. It's championship day, and the South Dakota State women's basketball team has battled all the way, going through an undefeated conference season, 18-0, to get to this point. The only thing standing in their way is the 6th seed, Omaha. They're 14-16 overall, 8-10 overall. And that's the only thing standing in their way from an NCAA tournament berth. Hello, everybody. Braden Byers alongside Paul Monson. Glad to be with you here today. 14-16 overall, 8-10 in the Summit is Omaha. They were swept by South Dakota State during the regular season. That was just one of 3 times Jack's margin of victory was under double digits in a league game. We'll get into more of that later. But the Jacks, as I mentioned, 18-0 overall. They will play in their 12th Summit League championship game. They're looking for an 11th NCAA tournament bid. They are 9-2 all-time in the championship game. Most recently, they made it to the NCAA tournament with an at-large bid in 2021. Again, more on that in just a little bit. It's shaping up to be a good one here in the Denny Sanford Premier Center. Of course, as with any championship game, there might be some pomp and circumstance going on around this area and everything like that. Let's go ahead and take our first break. Let's go ahead and take our first break of the game of the broadcast here today. We'll go ahead and step aside for 3 minutes, and when we come back, we'll outline both teams and get you set up for the matchup. Again, we'll be back here in 3 minutes on KSDJ.
You feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
If I could be you,
and you could be me,
for just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out, and for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center. South Dakota State taking on Omaha here in the women's championship game. Glad to have you along with us. Let's go ahead and outline exactly what happened yesterday and what led to this matchup right here. Well, South Dakota State yesterday at 12:30, they defeated Oral Roberts 87-60. The Jacks broke open the game in the second quarter, resulting in a 24-point lead. They got all the way out to 24 points ahead. SDSU recorded 20 assists or more for the 12th time this season against the Golden Eagles, and they blocked 11 shots. Callie Tyson, she had 6, a career high, and that's 1 away from a record set by ORU in 2015. Omaha defeated Kansas City 69-60. Grace Cave hit a jumper with just over 2 minutes left to push the Omaha lead to 10 points, and despite surges by Kansas City, they were never able to gain the lead. Let's go ahead and listen in to the national anthem. So the national anthem performed by the SDSU Pep Band here at the Denny Stanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We're getting set up. We're about 7 minutes away from getting this one started. We'll just talk a couple more minutes about these two teams. As I mentioned, South Dakota State got out to a 24-point lead. They recorded 11 blocked shots. Callie Tyson, career high 6. The 11 blocked shots is 1 away from the record for a team set by Oral Roberts in 2015. And then Omaha, they defeated the 10 seed Kansas City, who made an incredible run throughout the Summit League tournament. Grace Cave hit a jumper with just over 2 minutes left to push Omaha's lead to 10 points. Kansas City was never able to regain the lead, and that is how things went to 69-60 win over KC. So South Dakota State and Omaha match up here in the Summit League Championship matchup for a chance to go to the dance. Let's go ahead and bring in my analyst here, Paul Monson. Paul, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. Another road trip down to Sioux Falls for another, air quotes, home game for the Jackrabbits. UNO really the only team to give the Jacks a run for their money maybe this season in the Summit League with that 7-game margin that you mentioned. So this is almost probably an ideal matchup for a championship.
Yeah, let's dive in a little bit more to that. As I mentioned, South Dakota State swept UNO in both matchups this year. The loss in Omaha in Baxter Arena down in Nebraska was 61-68. That's a really close game if you're talking about the Jackrabbits.
Right, it was early on in their season, so still kind of working out a few of the kinks early in January, mid-January. So the team has definitely meshed a lot more since then, finishing out the Summit League season with an average win total of about 33 points.
Yep, and that was just one of 3 times the Jacks' margin of victory was under double digits, as I mentioned, in a league game. Their next game, however, wasn't quite as close.
No.
54-87 loss for Omaha in Brookings on February 18th.
Well, and part of that comes through with the change in venue. With playing in Frost Arena, that's tough for anyone to come into, especially a Jackrabbit squad led by Maya Sell and Peyton Burkhart. And Drew Gilton was playing really well at that time, too. So this whole Jackrabbit squad really turned up really deep. Hard to beat them at Frost. That's probably why the margin was so large there in February. I don't expect a much different outcome here today.
The Jackrabbits, #1 overall. As I mentioned, they will be playing. This is their 12th Summit League Championship game. They're looking for an 11th appearance in the NCAA tournament. They're 9-2 all-time in championship games. The Jackrabbits most recently made it to the NCAA tournament in 2021 with an at-large bid, but the last time they won a league championship was in 2019. That's the year Maya Sellen was a sophomore, Peyton Burkhardt was a freshman, and they went all the way to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, going to play against Oregon and that one draft pick you might have heard of, Sabrina Ionescu, now playing in the WNBA. So definitely one that you would have liked to have won, but it's not the worst one to have lost, losing to a WNBA draft pick.
For sure, but these Jackrabbits are hot, and they're looking to get back to that tournament. They're currently riding the nation's 3rd longest active winning streak, sitting at 20. I do believe they're tied with UNLV, who opened up Mountain West Conference play yesterday with a win. Looking at that, the only other teams to have more wins in a row than South Dakota State is South Carolina with 38 and Gardner-Webb with 21. And it's an incredible feat, really. And moving into the 20-point lead, they're going to be neck and neck. If they keep on winning, they're going to be neck and neck with UNLV. At the end of the conference tournament, UNLV is going to be ahead of them just because they have more games to play in their conference tournament already, as they just opened up yesterday. But the Jacks have a chance. If UNLV loses, there's no more win streak.
Take over that 3rd spot solo.
Yeah, exactly. As of yesterday, before the UNLV game, the Jacks did have the sole possession of that, but now I do believe they're back tied. Well, the Jacks have held opponents to 60 points or fewer in 10 of the last 11 games, and they've had a 20-point scoring margin in the last 8. That's really the big thing that we're going to be talking about with this Jacks team. They know how to hold teams to low scoring while scoring high themselves.
Right, right behind their leading super senior Maya Sellen, one for the year and one for the Superman play.
Got it.
Behind her 16 points a game. She's playing fantastic.
Yeah, well, the Jacks, they have the lead in the conference for field goal percentage and keeping their opponents not shooting field goals. Their opponents have the worst field goal percentage in the conference. They also have the best scoring offense, scoring defense, and scoring margin, as well as they rebound the best while defending the rebound the best. Their opponents have the least average rebounds per game. So just a couple of things to highlight that the Jacks are really good at. And then looking at the free throw percentage for UNO, 78.5. They're first in the league on free throws, so that's going to be a huge part of this, keeping UNO away from the foul stripe.
Right, getting that rebounds, and you can't be on offense if you don't get the rebounds. So Jackrabbits fantastic at that. So it should be a pretty easy recipe for Aaron Johnson.
Yeah, let's go ahead and step away for 1 minute. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups for you. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball on KSDJ.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You can ask on your couch while you binge watch. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
Back here in Frost Arena. Hey, that's not right. See, I did it today. You did it the other day. I did it today. My bad. It's not just you. Welcome back to the Denny. The place illuminated in red. Omaha getting introduced here. Let's go ahead and follow suit. Let's introduce the starting lineups for you between the Jackrabbits and the Mavericks here today. One of 2 championship games later on today. Oral Roberts and NDSU. We will not have that one for you. That will be on ESPN2. But let's worry about that a little bit later. Here, let's have the starting lineups for these 2 teams. Starting with Omaha, 14-16 overall, 8-10 in the conference. They're the number 6 seed. The 5'6" senior guard from Boynton Beach, Florida. She leads the team with 3 percentage, and she ended the regular season with 327 points, 30 steals, and 50 assists. Number 0, Aaliyah Stanley. 5'7" junior guard from Moscow, Russia. Number 4, Polina Nikolachkina. The 6'3" graduate student, the 6'3" graduate center from Nicosia, Cyprus. We have Alina Pilakuta, 5'7" sophomore guard from Weeping Water, Nebraska. Number 20, Grace Cave. And 5'7" sophomore guard from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Number 21, Kennedy Grant. The Mavs are coached by Carrie Banks in her 3rd season as the Mavericks head coach, assisted by Daryl Hudson, Tanya Davis, and Megan Black. She was previously an assistant coach at Ohio State. Switching over now to the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They're going to run with their traditional lineup here. 5'11" sophomore guard from Rapid City, South Dakota, started all 32 games. Number 13, Haley Timmer. The 6'1" junior forward from Mendota Heights, Minnesota, number 20, Tori Nelson. The 5'6" sophomore guard from Albany, Minnesota, 21, Paige Meyer. A 6' senior forward from Aberdeen, South Dakota. She's also started all 32 games. Number 33, Peyton Burkhard. And the 6'1" redshirt senior forward from Letcher, South Dakota. She's started all 32 games. Number 44, Maya Sellen. She is the Summit League Player of the Year, gaining that distinction for the 2nd time. The Jackrabbits are coached by Aaron Johnson in his 23rd season at SDSU, a 462-151 Division I record. He's assisted by Carissa Thielbar, Megan Luke, Sadie Tramer, Shelby Selland, and Erica Sage. Johnston is also the 2023 Summit League Coach of the Year. Again, Omaha will run with Stanley, Nikolachkina, Cave, Grant, and Pilakuta. And South Dakota State will run with Timmer, Meyer, Nelson, Burkhard, and Selling. Paul, I see you looking around here. What you thinking?
I'm just trying to figure out how many people have nothing else going on a Tuesday. This is a fantastic turnout for a Tuesday. Maybe not nothing else going on, but taking a day off, an afternoon off from the office, or whatever it is. This is a full arena.
Yeah, and what better reason to take a day off than to come cheer on the Jackrabbits, am I right?
That's what I'm doing.
Exactly, me too. Crazy.
Oh, it's a sea of blue, too. Not a lot of red here in the arena, at least from our vantage point.
Yeah, there's a little conglomeration of red behind the Omaha bench, as you would expect, but overwhelmingly a sea of blue. And it's really accentuated with the blue glow coming from the lights here.
Right, it reflects off all the blue shirts.
Well, Omaha is going to be working from right to left. They're the away team on the scoreboard. They're wearing their away black uniforms with red trimming, white numerals with red trim around them on the front and back. At Omaha, across the front, the last name across the top of the back numerals. The Jackrabbits working left to right in their home white uniforms with blue and yellow trim. They have blue numerals with yellow trim around them. The last name below the back numerals, and on the front they have the Jackrabbits across the chest. Of course, the Summit League logo on the left side of the chest. We're about ready to get this thing underway. The Jackrabbits going for their 12th excuse me, they're playing in their 12th Summit League Championship game, looking to win their 10th. 9-2 overall. Selland is going to match up with Cave here, the native of Weeping Water, Nebraska. Selland, a hometown girl from Letcher, South Dakota. Referee walks in. The ball is up, going to be tipped a couple of times and controlled by the Jackrabbits. And we are underway here, working left to right. The Jackrabbits going to give it up top now to Selland over left wing. Nelson inside Burkhardt, kiss off the glass a little bit too hard, and that'll fall on the right side of the basket.
Pilakuta really standing strong on the left block there to get in the face of Burkhardt and adjust the shot just enough to knock it off track.
Cave gets it across the timeline. She'll give it off now to Nikolachkina. She gives it now Stanley, driving on the left seam. Back out Cave, working on the left wing. 9.5 minutes left to go. Still nothing. Out on the right side now, Kennedy Grant cuts inside. Kick out to Nikolachkina. She gives it back up top. 5, 4, 3, driving inside the lane. The shot's going to be blocked. Grant can't even get it to the basket. And now Nelson coming across now, gets it across the 10-second line. Paige Meyer driving inside, working on the lane. Now kick out Selland inside to Burkhardt, working in on the baseline. She can't get the shot to go. And now falls down to Cave, coming back in transition now. Won't call it a fast break. Working now on the high right, gets it inside to Pilakuta. That gets stolen away. Meyer on a breakaway on the right side of the glass and down for 2.
That's only going to count for 1 turnover so far, but that's only UNO has yet to take a shot.
Paige Meyer gets the scoring started for the Jacks. 2-0 here. 8.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Stolen away again. That's Selland coming down on the left side this time, and Selland decides she wants to add a couple of her own.
2 turnovers for the Mavericks on 3 possessions. Not a great start for them.
The Jacks are third in the conference with 1.22 turnover margin. The Mavericks only .20. They're 5th, right in the middle. 8 minutes left now, 9 seconds. Stanley's going to drive inside, put up a shot. It did go through the basket, but she took one too many steps on the drive. And that'll be another turnover now.
Yeah, Stanley, the 5'6" guard, running in around the trees to the likes of Pilakuta. Just got wrapped up and her ankles got a little bit clipped together, unable to get off a good shot in time.
Meyer dribbling at the logo. She'll dump it off now to Timmer on the left side. Dribbling with her right hand, works her way up to the point. Now she gives it over to Meyer. Cross-court pass to Burkhardt, and a charge going to be called. First foul of the game is going to be on Tori Nelson.
Maybe she just looked like she thought the pass was coming her way, trying to get a little bit of extra momentum, swinging an arm a little bit to get up for the pass. Collided with the UNO player, called for a charge.
Cave coming with the ball down the far sideline. 7:40 left to go in this first period. 4-0. The Jackrabbits have blanked the Mavericks so far. Stanley working on the right. Gives it over to Cave, shadowing on the left side of the point. Driving in the lane on the right. That one gets blocked away by Timmer.
It'll be the second block of the game for the Jackrabbits. That early one, both of them actually, Tori Nelson.
9 seconds on the shot clock now. Cave ready to inbound it. 7 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Driving on the right side. Another block coming. Kennedy Grant. This Jackrabbit defense is clamped down on this Maverick team early. Shot clock down to 5 seconds now as Stanley inbounds. Inside to Cave in the lane. A shot, and she gets it to go. Cave leads the team in assists and minutes played. She averages about 10.3 points per game. She has 2 so far. Timmer working on the left. Now Nelson. Burkhardt, right side 3. She knocks it down. Her first points of the game. The Jacks are up 7-2, just under 7 minutes left to play in this first frame. Cave standing near the logo. Paige Meyer got the defense on her. Now dribbling around on the left side. Loses the ball. A scramble for it on the floor, and a whistle's going to be called right in front of us here. And that will be on Haley Timmer. Her first foul, team's second foul. No free throws yet As we mentioned, that's going to be a huge key to the Jackrabbits keeping this game far away from the Mavericks. They were shooting really good from the free throw line, 79%. Now working up top. Here's Grant. Feet ahead. And that one will be a three from Nikolachkina. She gets on the board. And they're back within 2, 7-5. The Jackrabbits lead it here, 6 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Burkhardt, feed over to Nelson on the left. Gives it Burkhardt. Shadowing the right side of the point. Spin around in the paint, Nelson. She gets that one to fall. Spreading the wealth here so far for the Jackrabbits. 4 different players have scored together a cumulative of 9 points, Paul.
Jackrabbit shooting 4 of 6%, so 4 of 6 from the field, so that's 1 shot for each player.
Cave bounces it into Pilakuta. That one's going to get tied up in a jump ball, the first one of our game here today. As now Callie Tyson will come into the game, giving Peyton Burkhardt a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, that's the first jump ball of the game, but the second time that Haley Timmers hit the deck driving for a ball. You got to love that commitment.
Cave inbounding underneath her own basket. Shot clock at 12. Have Pilakuta now hands off here to Grant. Dribbling with the ball near half court. Cuts inside the lane. Kick out, Cave, left side 3. That one hits the side iron. Brought down by Selland. Gets it across half court. Now over to Meyer. Wing right, give it to Timmer straight away. She drives inside the left, spinning around. Tyson now back to Meyer, working on the right baseline. Cutting inside, left seam, off the glass, too hard, went over the basket. The rebound is going to fall out of bounds. Not for lack of effort by Meyer, though.
Right, diving down the whole baseline, covered about from the lane to almost the three-point line in that one jump. Definitely a tough shot for her. She tried to follow it up with a tough rebound. Unsuccessful on both accounts, but the hustle is there.
Kay with the right-hand dribble, gets it across the timeline. Working on the right side now. Stomping up top. She gives it to Nikolachkina. Now over to Grant. Back to Nikolachkina. And Grant again, driving inside the key. Spinning around, the shot clock at 7. Tried to bounce it inside, forced that pass a little bit too hard. Meyer, feet ahead up to Timmer, fast break. Lay it off the glass and down. Timmer now gets her first points of the matchup. And you know what? The first game of the tournament, the Jackrabbits, everybody who played scored. Yesterday at one point, everybody who played scored before AJ brought in a couple of substitutions really late. This team knows how to spread the wealth here.
Well on their way to repeating that again, too. That's 4 turnovers, too, for UNO as that shot comes in good for Omaha.
Nikolachkina on the left baseline, knocks it down. 11-8, 4:11 left to go here in the first period. Nikolachkina's got 6 points, both of them three-pointers. Driving in on the right seam, Timmer, no foul called, and now Timmer seems to be heating up a little bit here. She's the first Jackrabbit to score multiple baskets.
Pilakuta carrying a heavy load so far for UNO, and she needs to. In the last game, it was her and Cave who came up big for the Mavericks. See if they can do it.
Nikolachkina dribbles up to the top of the key now, 3:38. Shot clock down to 10 already. Ball's on the floor. Tyson in there with Nikolachkina and Grant, and a jump ball called our second of the game. Jackrabbits shooting hot here, 6 of their last 7, and our first timeout of the game. 3 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the first. 13-8 is the score. We step aside here for 1 minute on KSDJ. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the US get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
First media timeout here, 13-8 is the score. The Jackrabbits up on top. The University of Nebraska Omaha looking to get back to the big dance here. Glad to have you along with us. Paul, Jackrabbits shooting 6 of 7. 6 of their last 7, shooting 6 of 9 overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different players have scored for them.
Yeah, nobody really taking over this game for the Jackrabbits right now, but everybody contributing a little bit. The biggest player right now, Haley Timmer, 2 of 2 from the field for 4 points, and then Peyton Burkhart with 3. She's 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from the 3-point line. Everybody else is hit something inside the line. Playing a pretty clean game. No free throws for UNO yet either. That's one of the big things we're going to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you mentioned Haley Timmer. She's the only person to knock down 2 shots for the Jackrabbits so far. Meanwhile, on the other end, Polina Nikolachkina, 6 points for her, 2 3-pointers. She can shoot it from downtown, but Grace Cave, she's playing with some intensity here today. She has 30 points over the first 2 games of this tournament for the Mavericks.
Yeah, she's definitely one to keep an eye on. One of the big players throughout the whole season for the Mavericks. So if they want to come out of this game and go on to the NCAA tournament, it might be on the back of Cave and Nikolakina.
Yeah, Cave, she eclipsed the 300-point mark with an 11-point performance versus the University of North Dakota in the opening round of this conference tournament. Timmer now dribbling with the right hand, gives it down to Tyson inside, working. Now Brooklyn Meyer in the game for the Jackrabbits. Drew Gilton also in the game for SDSU, spinning around on the left seam, gives it inside. Meyer spinning around. That shot gets blocked. A lot of contact on that one, and the whistle coming down.
Yeah, Aaron Johnson making a couple of substitutions here already, working kind of into that second squad. Maybe investing a little bit more here, getting some younger players who don't have tournament experience, just they're freshmen, they're too young. Getting Tyson in there. She's been playing a lot of the season, so she'll be good to go next year if she has to take Burkhart's spot or Sellen's spot. Now getting Brooklyn Meyer in there too, get her some big playing time, big time experience. Make sure she's ready to go when they need her.
Yeah, you mentioned Callie Tyson. She has played in all 32 games, averaging 16 minutes as Meyer knocks the first free throw down. And the second one as well.
15-8 here now with just 3 minutes to play.
Working now, a couple of substitutions in here. Katie Kaichis in the game. She gives it over on the left to Grant, driving inside the left baseline. Also in for the Mavericks, Morgan Gardner. The notable substitutions, as well as Sam Mitchell. I think we got everybody. So Omaha goes Stanley, Mitchell, Kaichis, Grant, and Gardner. SDSU, Gilton, Tyson, Timmer, Meyer, and Selland. Kaichis works on the left wing in her all-black uniforms, gives it up top now. Grant, 4-3-2 on the shot clock, driving in the lane. That one misses off the board, hits off, and she gets her own rebound, puts it up over the basket. Stanley gets the rebound now. She pulled down that board, not able to get a basket out of it.
Yeah, one of the shorter players on the court right now coming down with the rebound. You gotta love the effort.
Selland, a hook shot on the left seam, not able to get that to fall down. Now Stanley, the senior, coming back for the Mavericks.
That's 2 rebounds on back-to-back possessions for Stanley, so she's getting after it.
Spinning around in the lane, She took one too many snaps. I was just about to say, if they didn't whistle that one there, I was like, oh, that one looks a little bit iffy.
A little bit of a hop step. She's posting up to get ready to take the shot, and then decided she wanted a little bit more space. So backpedaling off that left foot. Can't do that once you've picked up your dribble.
Gilton now dribbling between her two hands. She gets it over to Nelson. Now on the right baseline, Burkhardt. Contact inside. Tyson is on the floor. And that's going to be a foul on Morgan Gardner. Her first personal and the team's second. Kick out now, Timmer, left side, three.
Wide open, completely unaccounted for in that defensive scheme. Just in the left corner, inbound pass directly to her, post up and shoot the three, straight on.
7 points for her in this one. She's 1 for 1 from downtown. Drew Gilton on the assist there. 1:42 left to go now. The opposite way, Kaichis, left side three. That one rims out, pulled down by Timmer. Feet ahead near side to Gilton now. Crosses the timeline. Out Burkhardt, right wing three. A little bit too hard, hit the side iron on the opposite side, and the board will fall down to Stanley, as you mentioned. 3 rebounds for her now, and a block shot on the other end. Tyson just a little bit too tall for Stanley to handle. Stanley sitting at 5'6", Tyson at 6'1".
Yeah, Stanley get caught in a little bit of a trap down on the left baseline on this last possession. Decides that her best option is just to get rid of the ball, tosses it off at Timmer out of bounds, so that UNO keeps possession now with 20 on the shot clock.
Kaichis in the key, gives it out Stanley, shadowing the right side. 1:10 left to go in the first period. Nikolachkina driving on the left side. It's Polina Nikolachkina, not her sister. And a foul going to be called here in the backcourt as Stanley got in the way of Nelson.
Yeah, that last shot is just a continuation of a terrible drought for UNO. They're currently without points in the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. 1 of their last 8 from the field. Definitely not how you stay in a game with the number 1 seeded Jackrabbits.
Down to 1 minute left here in this first frame. Meyer gives it back out to Meyer. Brooklyn to Page, and now back into Brooklyn, working on the left low block. Kick out to Nelson straight away. Now driving in the right side. Little hook shot, not able to get that to fall. A couple of unlucky bounces, and now coming back the other way. Going to be Mitchell, the senior guard from Downers Grove, Illinois, working for the Mavericks. Dribbling at the top. Now she gives it over. Nikolachkina trying to cut inside. She gives it inside now. Gardner. The shot will not go. Shot clock is off now, 18-8. Here, a 10-point lead for the Jacks as Meyer dribbling near the half-court line. Mitchell trying to get all up in her grill. Tries to get to the left. 9 seconds now. She'll kick it out to Timmer on the right for three. Right between the eyes. And that'll be a way to end the period for the Jacks as Mitchell will dribble the ball out. And they'll go ahead, take some time, regroup, and get back in the second.
Yeah, the Jackrabbits playing some fantastic basketball, mostly through Timmer right now. 4 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from three-point range. Total of 10 points for her. 10 out of the Jackrabbits' 21. Very instrumental for the Jackrabbits' lead right now. Go ahead and step away for just about a minute and a half here. When we return, we'll have the second quarter action here from the Denny Sanford Premier Center.
Remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, That's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See? That's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the US get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Back at the Denny, 21-8 the score. Getting ready to set up here in the second quarter. Paul, anything jumping out off of that sheet?
They played a really clean game, both teams. Anything that's called for a foul is just a turnover, just a change of possession. No shooting fouls thus far in the game. UNO 0 for 0. And based on what I just said, Jackrabbits also 0 for 0. But 100% from the three-point line for the Jacks. Only 1 of 1, that last one just coming off of Timmer here. Jackrabbits playing some fantastic basketball right now.
So far, yeah, they seem to be clicking on all cylinders. Haley Timmer, first player to get to double digits. She has 10 points. She's perfect from the field, 4 of 4. 2 of 2 from downtown with a rebound and only 1 personal foul. She's 1 point for every minute she's played.
That's a pretty good ratio.
I would say so. The leading scorer for Omaha, Polina Nikolachkina. She's 2 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from downtown.
Something we mentioned in the pregame, too, that SDSU is really good at preventing rebounds from their opponent. UNO already with 11 compared to SDSU's 6. Have to see how that plays out down the stretch here. It looks like right now it's not going to be an effect, but we'll see what happens.
Working on the right side right now, Katie Kaichis gives it inside to Gardner. Now a kick out to Nikolachkina. Bounce pass to Pilakuta right up at the top. Pump fake, and she drives in on the left. Spinning around, Brooklyn Meyer and Peyton Burkhardt on her. Now she's going to be picked off by Meyer. Going down, Selland. She gets the hoop and the harm.
As soon as I mentioned there's no free throws yet shot in this game, here's going to be our first shooting foul, sending Maya Selland to the line, the seasoned veteran.
Yeah, she shoots 82% on the season so far. As you mentioned, first trip to the line so far. And the foul is going to be on Nikolachkina.
Just under 30 seconds into the quarter, into the period, we got our first shooting foul, first foul for UNO.
That one can't get it to go. Misses that one. It's fine. They've got a little bit of a cushion here. 23-8 the score. 9.5 minutes left to go here in the second frame. Working now, Mitchell dribbles up towards the top. Now she'll get it down here to Grant. Gets it back Gardner now, back to Grant. Wing left, inside Pilakuta. Going across the lane, now looking to get it out. She gives it backdoor Gardner. A little bit off center, can't get that one to fall. The board falls down to Madison Mathewitz in the game for the Jackrabbits. And another foul going to be called. That's going to be on Sam Mitchell. Her first, team's second of the period. Now Meyer, handoff here to Selland. Working wing right, up top Burkhardt now, spinning around left side, Meyer down to Mathewitz. A little bit too hard, gets her own board, however. Back out to Meyer, and the Jacks will reset. Burkhardt at the top, Meyer to the left. Working, dribbling, now back to Mathewitz on the left. Down baseline into Brooklyn Meyer. Cutting inside the lane, goes back to her left, and they'll call a step on her.
That was a good rotation on UNO to get a body over to Mathewitz on that left corner. When she caught the pass, she was wide open. Half a second later, Pilakuta right on top of her. That's a tough frame to shoot over.
Inside now here, Gardner can't pull it up, and Selland comes up with it. It's going to be the 8th turnover for the Mavericks here. Mathewitz gives it to Burkhardt now. Paige Meyer, right side, 3.
That is a quick whistle after that three-pointer, isn't it?
It is. A timeout going to be called here. We will step aside with them. Omaha calls the timeout, and we'll be back here in 1 minute. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball, 26-8, the advantage.
The solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters, like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
(26-8) as you hear the SDSU pep band blaring in the background.
Not a better sound, is there? All right, for a non-band person, you don't have to look at me like that. What's wrong with being?
Okay. When you start singing, that's when it becomes a problem, Paul. 26-8, 8 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Braden Byers, Paul Monson alongside you. KSDJ Radio, student home for Jackrabbit Athletics. Things are looking bleak for UNO, man.
Yeah, you're already down 26-8 in the second quarter. Early in the second quarter, might I add. Something has to change for UNO if they want to stay in this game and have a chance to go dancing.
And that's what we're playing for here, a chance to go dancing. Go to the big dance, the NCAA tournament. As we mentioned, the Jackrabbits been there most recently in 2021 with an at-large bid, which is sort of rare for the Summit League.
Right, yeah, smaller conference getting a shot into the tournament, and I don't think they did half bad either in that trip.
Nope. Inside, Pilakuta spin around in the lane, and she gets that down. Her first points of the game.
Drew something up right in that timeout, didn't they? Picked something up.
Yep. Selland inside the key. Now kicks out. Nelson on the right. Everybody's taking a shot at three.
Everybody on the floor, since we're keeping track of it, for the Jackrabbits, everybody's scored points except for Mathewitz here on that 0 of 1 from the three-point corner. Tough shot for her.
That was Mitchell on the right baseline, not able to get that to go. Meyer brings it up now, working on the right wing. Gives it back to Nellen, back to Meyer at the top. Now over Mathewitz. Inside Selland, working on the left lane. Drives inside, gets a foul. The basket doesn't go this time, but she will go to the line. Blocking foul inside.
She's going to shoot the 4th and 5th free throw for the team so far. Currently the Jackrabbits sitting at 67% from the free throw line, 2 of 3. Myself will do what she can to add to it.
Bilakuta with the foul call on her, and Selland knocks the first one down.
tripled them up, 30-10.
That is no good, so 2 for 4 at the line is Maya Selland. Cave back in the game for the Mavericks. 6:42 left to go in the second. 30-10 is the score. Cave at the top, driving in the right side. Now she'll give it off to Grant. Kick out Stanley, left wing. Pump fake again in the lane. Blocked by Nelson. Ping-ponged around, brought down by Gilton. Coming back the opposite way. Tried to feed it ahead to Selland. And that one just a little bit off target, and the Mavericks have another chance now.
No-look pass, got away from her there.
Cave working back, dribbling with her left hand. Now her right between her legs and going inside. Pilakuta not able to corral the pass, and Cave comes up with it again somehow. Just over 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Driving inside, Cave runs into a brick wall of Tyson and Timmer. Selland out on the left wing. Gives up top to Nelson. Timmer wing right, now down Tyson inside Nelson. Selland, kick out Nelson, driving left baseline. She moves the ball around perfectly, aims it right off the glass and down for 2.
Tori Nelson now with 7 total points for the Jackrabbits to add on to their 6-0 run. Add on to their run. Now it's 6-0.
5 points here in the second period for Nelson out of the 7.
Tyson also with 2 blocks. Nelson with 4.
Here's Cave, bounces it to Stanley. Driving on the right side, a whistle. Contact inside, and a foul going to be on Tyson. Her first, and only the team's first in this second period.
Can I make a way too early prediction?
You don't go for it.
Tori Nelson double-double, not points, rebounds. Points and blocks. She's well on pace for it, isn't she?
She is. Stanley knocks the first one down. Her first points. Man, the SDSU pet band's giving it to her. Second one is knocked down for her too. Her first 2 points of the game.
That's what the pet band's for, isn't it?
No, they're there to play music, Paul. They're there to play music. Nelson gets it to Gilton. Long pass inside to the front court to Meyer. Now back out Nelson. Gilton, left side Timmer. Inside Tyson, driving on the left baseline. And a foul called again. This time, Kennedy Grant is the culprit. Team's 4th.
Yeah, that was a hard foul on Tyson. She had both arms outstretched to get underneath the basket. Just kind of got hacked on both of them, sending her straight to the ground. Her first shot unable to connect. She still remains with 0 points and 2 blocks.
Yeah, Tyson, she averages about 6 points. That one front irons off. 0 for 2 on that trip. Bringing it up the other way, Stanley gives it to Cave. That one's no good, brought down by Gilton. Crosses the 10-second line, under 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Timmer gives it inside right baseline. Now Nelson inside. Tyson, kick out Timmer. Now back at the point is Tyson, and Brooklyn Meyer can't come up with it. Picked away by Grant. She feeds it up ahead to Mitchell. Driving inside. Gilton falls down on her backside. Foul going to be called. AJ's a little bit fired up here.
You put your body on the line like that for your coach, they're going to get fired up every time. Stands in there, takes the charge, knew the hit was coming, and it still stood there anyway, took it, and now steals a possession from UNO that way.
You can't tell me AJ don't want to get back to the dance after, I'm going to say settled, but I don't mean it this way, settling for a WNIT championship last year. Nelson gives it to Gilton, now working right side. Nelson tried to get it inside to Brooklyn Meyer. That's poked away by UNO. And a turnover for the Jackrabbits.
Maybe it ended up going off of Brooklyn Meyer's right arm Lots of contact, though. It looks like it could have gone either way for an over the back or an extra push on either side, actually, too.
Yeah.
Either team could have been called for a foul there.
32-11. 4 minutes left to go in the first half of this Summit League championship game. The right to go to the NCAA tournament. March Madness is here, folks.
Loose ball foul looks like going to be called here on Peyton Burkhart as Timmer and a couple other players hit the ground. Be Burkhart's first personal foul.
Then the team's second of this period. Inbound from Mitchell, gets it to Grant, working on the right seam. Now she'll reset outside the arc. Feed into Kaichis, almost like they drew up a route. She spins around inside the key, and she's good.
Yeah, lobbing the ball ahead of where your teammate was going to be. So it was their ball arrived at the player at the same time. Beautiful pass. Great finish.
Kaichis has her first 2 points. Kick out, left side, Timmer. It's Timmer time.
Stays hot. Timmer now 3 of 3 from three-point range. 13 points for her early on. Leads the Jackrabbits in points.
And she's still perfect from the field. 5 for 5. Driving right side, Grant. Gonna run into Burkhart. Another whistle in favor of the Jackrabbits. Kennedy Grant.
That's the second charge here in 4 possessions for the Mavericks.
Selland back in the game, gives it up to Paige Meyer. Over to Gilton, now Paige Meyer. Right side, Timmer, down to Burkhart. Back up Timmer, driving and cutting inside. Meyer playing with an intensity. Kick out to Gilton. Now Timmer right side, long pass out to Gilton. Shot clock at 8. Selland inside the painted area, gets it up and the foul.
Gilton had a couple good looks on that possession that she ended up passing on. One to the left wing, she passed across court, passed up on the three-pointer there, and then she found the ball in her hands again later on in the mid-range, shuffle passing it inside to Maya Selland for the ultimate bucket and foul here.
And she converts the old-fashioned three-point play.
Gilton has yet to take any field goals.
I kind of like this setup with the 2 point guard look. You know, Gilton and Paige Meyer both out on the floor. Outside, Townsend on the left. She's in for the Mavericks. Jalen Townsend, the junior guard from Edwardsville, Illinois, now working on the opposite end. 2:22 left to go in the first half. Selland, left side 3. Side irons off, falling a little bit short. Burkhart going for the rebound. She runs into a Maverick. A blocking foul going to be called.
Yeah, takes a good hit on her right side, just under the arm. Definitely deserves this trip to the free throw line.
Jalen Townsend, her first, team's 5th in this second period. Burkhart shoots 2. First one knocked down, gives her 4th. On her first trip to the line. 1 for 4 from the field so far. The Aberdeen native converts both of them. Lots of substitutions coming in here. We'll update them when play resumes. We got Kaichis to Cave. Then here we got Mitchell and Pilakuta and Stanley for the Mavericks. Tori Nelson back in the game for the Jacks. Gilton coming out. Mathewitz also back in. Cave working on the left side. Spinning around. She'll kick it out here to Kaichis. Stanley, pump fake, drives in on the right. Shot not powerful enough. Can't get it high enough. And now Selland coming up back the opposite way. Nelson working on the right side. Selland shadowing the right side of the point. Goes around the left side now, spinning back to her right. Hook shot from the middle of the painted area. She knocks it down. She seems to be catching a little bit of fire here now. Selland, she reaches 10 points.
Deep in her bag for that shot. Spinning around fake, and then the hook shot coming back to it on the spin. Beautiful arc on it. Didn't hit anything but the net.
Paige Meyer gets called for her first offense. Team's third here in the second period. Buck 27 left to go here in the first half, 42-14. Jacks up big. Stanley, right side three, back irons off, falls down to Meyer. Paige Meyer, to be more exact, bringing it across the 10-second line, gives over to Burkhardt. Now Meyer again, working wing right. Stanley all over her. She gets a little contact to her face. Stanley can't believe that she's getting called for that. Carrie Banks out here to argue that too.
A little bit of a late reaction, it looked like, from Paige Meyer. Nonetheless, referee's going to check it out. Initially calling the foul on the floor. Now conferring with each other and the coaches, explaining what's going on. Meyer heads to the free throw line.
AJ checking, making sure that she's all right.
Yeah, you don't want to make any unnecessary sacrifices in this game. You're already up by 30 points. Save yourself for the NCAA tournament, because that's where it looks like this is trending. First shot up and good from Meyer.
Yeah, Meyer's at her first trip, 70% on the season from the stripe. She knocks the second one down as well. 4 points for her. Excuse me, 7. Math, you know.
Numbers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Cave gives it now. Stanley working with the ball. Nice ball movement amongst herself here. She's getting a little bit frustrated here.
Yeah, she's asking for some help from her teammates is what it looked like as they're walking to the huddle just before the free throws.
So Stanley will go to the line.
Been a while since UNO put in any points here. They haven't scored in just under 3 minutes. Keeping them at these 14 points, 44-14 as it stands right now. First shot from Stanley up and good, so now 15. But
all of Stanley's 3 points have been from the charity stripe. 3 for 3 so far. Dribbling the basketball, spinning, and now taking the shot. She's good. 4 for her, all in this second period. 44-16. Now under a minute left to go here in the first half. Selland getting bombarded by Kaichis and Stanley. Now she'll dump it off to Tyson, back out to Selland. Nelson working right to left on the radio dial. Back to Nelson working on wing right. Now Meyer, wing left. Shot clock down to 10. Selland dumps it inside to Tyson. Contact inside, and a foul going to be on Tyson.
Yeah, they're going to call the push off on Tyson here, trying to get down the right lane to get to the pass from Selland. She would have been open if she pulled down the pass and came down with the ball. Wide open right-handed layup for her.
Kaichis inbounds it here to Cave. Still got enough time for the shot clock to be running here. 30 seconds, about 8-second difference between the shot and game clock. Dribbling with the right hand is Cave at the logo. Now coming around. Gives it up top now here to Kaichis. Cutting inside. She loses the ball out, but Cave brings up with it on the left baseline. 2 on the shot clock. A turnover on the Mavericks. And Selland getting ready to inbound it here with 10 6/10 of a second left.
Yeah, Cave giving a little bit of extra words exchanged with our official here on that baseline. She said, no way that went off of bounds on me.
Inbound into Meyer. Cave working on her on the full court. Stanley, it goes out of bounds, and they'll call it off of Meyer.
The crowd here disagrees with the call on the floor vehemently.
But Kaichis inbounds in the front court, 4-3. Kick out Stanley, 3. Misses the basket completely. Pilakuta goes up for the rebound. Brooklyn Meyer won't let her have it. And that's how we end the first half. 44-16, the Jacks. It's looking like they're going to the tournament. We still have another half to play. Won't jump to conclusions too early, but it sure is looking that way.
Fantastic game for the Jacks. The season record, or the all-time record for points scored in a game is 119. I don't think we'll get there yet today. Even if you double what we have, 88 points seems more feasible. 119 maybe not, but Jacks nonetheless playing a fantastic game. We're going to go ahead and take our little break here before halftime here on KSTJ. When we return, we'll have some first half stats and analysis for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 3 minutes here on KSTJ with the KSTJ halftime show.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Welcome back here to the Denny Sanford Premier Center here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The Summit League Women's Basketball Championship game, 44-16. Currently the score at halftime between South Dakota State and Omaha. South Dakota State really came out of the gate. They were ready to play, Paul.
Yeah, this is not much of a game. So 1 and the 6 seed playing together. Jackrabbits had a fantastic regular season. This is about what you'd expect coming into this kind of a game.
Yep, the Jackrabbits, they're shooting really good. They're passing the ball a lot. They're spreading the wealth amongst their main 5 girls here. Even getting a couple more that are coming off the bench is some action. For more on that, let's go ahead and have you look at the first half stats here.
I'll pull out my my stat sheet here and we'll get going. Taking a look at UNO's leading scorers. Their main scorer currently, Polina Nikolakina, with 6 points in just over 8 minutes played here on the floor. 2 of 3 shooting from the field, 2 of 2 from 3-point range. And her six points, really all the stats that she has in the first half. 1 personal foul, 2 turnovers. Her total plus minus right now sits at -10. The second leading scorer for the Mavericks, Aaliyah Stanley, playing just under 15 minutes on the floor. Finishes the first half with 4 total points. She is 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3-point range, but 4 of 4 from the free throw line. To go along with her 4 total points, she has 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Her total plus minus -14. Those are the 2 main scorers for the Mavericks right now, but the Mavericks also have 3 other players with points, all of them with 2. Pilakita with 2 on 1 of 1 shooting from the field, 1 rebound. Grace Cave with 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting from the field. And then Katie Keichke's 2 points on 1 of 2 shooting from the field. None of those players have shot any free throws. Jackrabbits playing a really clean game that way. Mavericks have 11 total turnovers in the game to go along with 5 total assists. From the field, the Mavericks are shooting an even 20%, 5 of 25 from the field, 25% from 3-point range, 2 of 8. Mavericks currently are perfect from the free throw line, with the only shooter for the only player who shot free throws being Aaliyah Stanley, perfect 4 of 4. Those 11 turnovers have proved to be pretty costly for the Mavericks in this first half. Jackrabbits taking those 11 turnovers and quickly turning them into 19 total points from turnovers. Looking at the Jacks' main scorers so far in this first half, they are led by Haley Timmer, just over 14.5 minutes. She's perfect from the field, 13 points, 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3-point range. To go along with her 13 points, she has 1 rebound for a total plus minus of +20. Second leading scorer for the Jackrabbits, Maya Selland, in just over 15.5 minutes of play. She has 10 points, 4 of 6 from the field, and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. To go along with her 10 points, she has 3 total rebounds, all of them on the defensive end. The third leading scorer for the Jackrabbits is a tie with 7 between Tori Nelson and Paige Meyer. Tori Nelson currently sits with 7 points on just under 15 minutes of play from the field, 3 of 4 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3-point range, 2 rebounds, 7 points, 1 assist, and just a couple blocks, 4 to be exact for her. The third leading scorer for the Jackrabbits, Paige Meyer, with 7, just under 15 minutes of play, 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3-point range, and she is perfect from the free throw line, 2 of 2. To go along with her 7 total points, she has 4 rebounds and 3 assists for a total plus minus of 22. Other players on the Jackrabbits with some points right now. Peyton Burkhart with 5 total points on 1 of 4 shooting from the field. A 3-pointer and then 2 free throws that she made, both of them. And Brooklyn Meyer also with 2, both of her points coming at the free throw line. Jackrabbits have a total of 7 total turnovers to 10 assists as a squad, playing a pretty clean game, passing the rock around well enough to come out to a 44-16 lead. As a squad, Jackrabbits are shooting 65% from the field, 15 of 23, and then 67% from both three-point line and free throw line, 6 of 9 for the three-point line, and then 8 of 12 from the free throw range. UNO has yet to lead in this game, and it doesn't look like they're going to get one anytime soon. SDSU's biggest lead, however, was 30 total points, came just at the end of that first half with a minute 12 left to go in the second quarter. Best run for the Jackrabbits was 15 points that ended at the 8-minute mark of that second quarter. As I mentioned before, Jackrabbits have led this game the entire time. Took off early on and have never looked back. Scoring by period, UNO, both periods have scored 8 points for a total of 16 at the end of this first half. SDSU only getting better, starting at 21 in their first period and then 23 in the second period, combining for a total of 44. Again, your final score there, 16, or not your final score of the first half, 16-44, advantage South Dakota State. Leading scorers, Polina Nuchalakina for UNO with 6 on 2 of 3 shooting, 2 of 2 from the three-point range. And then your leading scorer for the Jackrabbits, the Red Hot, Haley Timmer, 13 points, 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from three-point range. We'll see if she can keep that up. We're going to go ahead and step away here on KCJ for 3 minutes. When we come back, Braden's going to take a look around the world of college basketball for whatever there is going on today. And then we will have second half action from the Denny Sanford Premier Center and not from Frost Arena. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See? That's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
I spent a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in '09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Back here at the Denny, about 1 minute left till we get this second half underway. Braden Byers alongside Paul Munson, bringing you all the Jackrabbit games here in the 2023 Summit League Tournament. Glad to have you along with us. Make sure to stick around for our post-game show. We will have an in-depth look at some of the other tickets being punched around the country. They couldn't quite hit that note very clean, huh?
It's a high one.
It is.
It's not easy to hit.
Personally, knowing, because I'm a trumpet player, I understand.
You're the trumpet player.
I am
You're
the
a
trumpet player.
player.
Well,
I'm also a trumpet player.
Be quiet. Make sure to stick around for the post-game show. We'll have an in-depth look at all the other tickets being punched to the big dance here today and in the near future. And we'll give you an updated look at some bracketology things. That's my favorite type of science.
That's when we get to find out where our spring break goes.
Potentially.
I'd be okay. As long as it's somewhere warm.
How's Austin, Texas sound to you?
I would take it. No second thoughts. We'd take it.
We're here 44-16. Here in the second half now. Burkhardt at the top of the key. The Jackrabbits working right to left this half. Not anymore. They're working left to right. Nope. They just got it stolen away. Yeah, they're working left to right on defense, right to left on offense. Quick turnover here, and Nikolachkina gets it into Stanley. Now to Pilakuta, working on the left side of the lane, and she knocks it down. Mavericks coming out hot.
This looks like a completely different team, forcing a turnover right away. And then getting inside and getting the shot that Pilakuta wants, making it look easy. See if they made some good adjustments. They have some ground to make up.
Don't call it a comeback.
That's a good start for them so far. Knock on wood or don't, I guess. Cheering for SDSU. Foul going to be called on Nikola Kina. Send Maya Selland to the free throw line here for the first free throws of the second half. First one goes up and off the rim and out. Maya Selland keeps a big grin on her face because she knows she's going to hear about that one later.
Yeah, the second one. Knocked down, first points for her in the second half. She has 11. 10 points in the first half for her. The kick out to Nikolachkina. She's not able to corral the pass. Grant on the ground.
Cave giving a little bit of extra, we're getting a little bit of extra explanation maybe from one of the referees on the way down the sideline here. Jackrabbits resume offense. Burkhart now works up top. Timmer back down Burkhart left wing. Shot over Pilakuta and perfect.
Nice shot to come out the second half with 8 points for her so far in this one. Working now, Cave gets it out to Nikolachkina. Up at the top now, trying to cut inside. Back out behind the arc, gives it to Pilakuta at the top. Back to Nikolachkina on the right side, driving in the baseline. She got it down. Newfound almost energy for this Omaha team here.
Definitely coming out, finishing the first half, shooting just 20% from the field in that first half. Already coming out, now they're 100%. 2 for 2 so far.
Haley Timmer gets a foul call on her. And she charged inside.
Jackrabbits also 100% from the field though thus far. Stanley fires from the right wing, shot no good, picked up by Pilakuta, steps back inside off the rebound and is hit by Burkhart, whistled for the foul. It's Burkhart's third personal foul, the team's second non-shooting foul. UNO will just inbound from the left baseline.
48-20 here. 7:54 left to go in the third quarter. Get it in now. Kennedy Grant driving on the left baseline. Lots of contact in there, and there hasn't seemed to be very much rhythm here in the second half quite yet. A lot of whistles so far.
Yeah, especially on the Jackrabbits, being the culprit on a multitude of these calls here. That last foul called on Tori Nelson will be her second personal, team's third.
Grant knocks the first free throw down. It's going to be her first points. And the second one as well. 2 points for her. 2 for 2 at the line. Dribbling up the near side, Tori Nelson. Now to Meyer, gives it to Sellen, driving on the right seam. Kick out Timmer, now Nelson. Inside the key, driving left side, too hard off the glass. The rebound brought down by Haley. The ball will go out of bounds. Jackrabbit team signaling in favor of them. The referees, however, not agreeing.
Yes, siding with UNO there.
Nikolachkina hands it off now to Grant at the top of the key. Spinning around, kick out. Now Cave has it. Driving right side. Nothing doing there. Spinning around towards her right. Now her left. She's locked up. Bounces it into Nikolachkina. And a foul called inside. That's going to be Tori Nelson. Her second.
Not in the act of shooting again, so it'll send UNO to inbound it from the right sideline.
My bad, that's Tori Nelson's third.
Now she'll be replaced. Drew Gilton will come into the game for the Jackrabbits.
Cave inbounds up top to Stanley. Fake the drive, going on the left side. She got past Gilton. She has 6.
In this half, UNO has 8 total points so far compared to Jackrabbits 4. So UNO playing a fantastic second half thus far.
Inside the painted area. Spin around on the right side from Burkhart. Lays it up for 2.
That ends a 6-0 run from UNO. Now just 6-2.
10 points for Burkhart. She joins the double-digit club. She gets a steal now on the other end. Gives it on the near side to Gilton. Give over to Selland. Gilton, now Burkhart. Back to Gilton. 6.5 minutes left to go in this third period. Timmer inside Burkhart, left side kick out. Now Selland loses the ball out of bounds while driving on Pilakuta.
Poked out of bounds at some point here, so it will remain with the Jacks just in front of media row here.
Selland, wing right, inside to Burkhardt, working on the right seam. The mid-range jumper, no good. Brought down now by Grant. Grant feeds it in to Pilakuta, off the rim and down.
Yeah, she really had to reach for that pass to get into the middle of the lane to receive the ball and then back out to the left block where she wanted to go to work.
Yeah, the Jackrabbits only doubling up the Mavericks now, 50-26, more than doubling up. Well, less than doubling up, I mean, but still right around there. A foul on the inside off of the shot. That's going to be on Grace Cave, her second foul, second team foul here in the third period.
Yeah, knocked Maya Selland almost completely over fighting for that rebound. Really easy whistle, especially because it was right in front of the referee.
Gilton inbounds it. Timmer working on the right wing. Up top, Meyer, now Gilton left side. Three! She gets herself on the board there with an electric three to spark some energy into this crowd.
I believe that's her first shot she's even attempted today.
Indeed, she's perfect. 1 of 1 from the field. Coming down now, we've Grant. Dribbles up to the top, now going on the left seam. That shot, not able to get it to go. Don't know if it was blocked, don't know if it was a bad shot. Either way, it falls down to the Jacks. Gilton on the left wing, gives it up top to Tyson, now all the way down to Timmer on the right. Back up Gilton top, Paige Meyer left. Acts like she's going to drive, then she does. Driving around, puts up a shot, falls to the ground, and some more contact, and a foul. Nikolachkina gets her third foul call. She will come out of the game. 3 fouls in the period for the Mavericks. There's a break in the action. We break with them. 4:56 left to go in the third quarter, 53-26. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball on KSDJ.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
it be great if life came with a remote?
Back at the Premier Center here, Paige Meyer going to the line to shoot 2 free throws. First one's knocked down, her first points of the second half. The second one is true as well. Cave brings it up now, 55-26. The Jackrabbits lead it here. Gives it to Grant. Grant driving on the right side. Pilakuta in the lane. She fires a shot. No good. Brought down Meyer. Paige Meyer gets across 10-second line now, dribbling with the right hand. Gives it up Tyson. Left wing now Gilton. Inside to Timmer. She can't corral the pass. Tipped away and eventually stolen away by Cave. Grant inside to Pilakuta. Spinning around on the left, block shot by Tyson. Ball will go out of bounds. UNO looks like they will retain possession, but a nice block shot by Callie Tyson on there.
Yeah, that last turnover by the Jackrabbits, their 10th of the whole game. So not too far behind UNO, only with 13. Even the game up a little bit on the turnover margin.
Kennedy Grant lays it off the right side. 4 minutes left to go in the third period, 55-28. Gilton cuts inside at the key. Now gives it out to Paige Meyer. Inside, Tyson working on the left. Now kick out Timmer. Driving on the right baseline, puts up a shot a little bit too hard. Rebounded by Tyson. She puts up, shot back up, but she gets fouled on the way up. So she will go to the line and shoot 2. Aaliyah Stanley, the culprit on that one. Her third. She's going to go ahead and sit down now as Sam Mitchell will come back in for the Mavericks.
Tyson going to the line now just for her second trip. She was 0 of 2 earlier in the game. First shot now, her first make. 1 of 3 from the free throw line. That last rebound also her third. Tied for second on the team behind Paige Meyer, who has 5.
Yep, second one's knocked down from Tyson. Her first 2 points. She's 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. Cave now gives it up top to Grant. Dribbling here, the bounce pass to Kaichis. Dribbling around. Gets it back out to Mitchell. Tried to go on the right side. Whistle's blown. And Omaha to inbound it here in their side of the court. Peyton Burkhardt, Tori Nelson back in the game for the Jacks as they get it back into Cave. 18 seconds on the shot clock, 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third. Cave working on the left, now gives it up to Grant. Down on the left baseline to Kaichis, out to Cave, a long 3. That one side irons out, brought down by Nelson, who gives it to Gilton. Dribbles it on the left wing with her right hand while pointing. Gives it to Nelson on the left baseline now, working her way up to the point. Gives it to Gilton, now down to Timmer on the right. Burkhardt working inside the arc, now on the top for 3 from Gilton. That back irons off, brought down by Nelson. Gilton tried to drive in on the left side. She goes back around. Now Tyson inside the paint. Not able to get it to go too hard off the glass. They fight for the rebound, and a whole conglomeration, including Tyson, Burkhardt, Pilakuta, and Grant. A jump ball will be called.
This time it benefits UNO. They'll get possession this time. So now they inbound from their left baseline.
Cave dribbling with the right hand. Gets it to Grant. Cuts inside, bounces it now to Kaichis. She drives. Puts up a one-handed shot, brought down by Timmer. Feet ahead up to Nelson. Dribbling with the right hand, bounces into Burkhardt, lays it in.
Beautiful job by Tori Nelson there, coming down the right sideline, coming into the right lane, drawing off the one defender, playing that 1-on-2 perfectly. Bounce pass off Burkhardt for the easy 2.
12 for Burkhardt here. She's 4 of 9 from the field. Cave now with 2 minutes. dribbling inside. She puts up a shot. It swirls around and down.
12 points now for UNO in this, 14 points in this second half. So far, UNO starting to come to life just a little bit. See if it's enough.
Gilton pump fakes with the head. Drives inside, now kick out Timmer for 3. It's always Timmer time, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's not going to be enough if SDSU keeps playing like that.
Timmer, the exceptional sophomore for SDSU. She has a game-high 16. Nobody on UNO has reached double digits yet. Shot clock down to 12 now. Bounces out to Mitchell for 3. Hits the iron. Brought down, and Timmer gets a rebound as well. She's got 3 of them.
Woo! Timmer takeover right here. It's driving down the right lane, scoop layup up and under for the right, or the two-handed finish on the right side of the rim. Could not have been more perfect.
18 points for her. Now Mitchell working on the left. Under a minute left to go here in this third period. Driving on the right. She gets tripped up, falls on the ground. A whistle is blown right in her general area. And a foul on Gilton will be her first.
Erin Johnson decides it's time to give Timmer a little bit of rest, see if she can't save any of that for the NCAA tournament. Takes her out and Tyson. In for them, Brooklyn Meyer and Mathowitz.
So Mitchell goes to the line. She's not scored any points so far. Her first trip, she knocks that down. Mitchell 0 for 2 from the field, which makes a perfect 2 for 2 from the stripe. Inbound from Nelson here to Gilton, dribbling with her right hand, now her left. Crosses the timeline, gives it over. Nelson, 30 seconds left to go in this period. Gilton underneath in the paint. She can't get the shot. A little bit too hard off the glass. No need to be upset with yourself, Drew.
It's a tough shot. Maybe she was fouled a little bit on the first pump fake. That's what she was looking for.
Maybe. Grant dribbling at the logo. 10 seconds. The shot clock is off. 64-32. The Jacks lead it here. Dribbling with the right hand. 3, 2. Burkhardt's going to stop her. And a quick jump ball before we end the third. Why not?
Sure, might as well have the ball start going back the other way in favor of the Jackrabbits. See what they can do with 1.2 seconds from all the way in the back court. Tori Nelson inbound.
Gets it in to Gilton. She catches it and the horn sounds off. 64-32 is the score as we head into the fourth and final frame here in the Summit League Women's Basketball Championship game. Again, the winner of this advances on with an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. We'll go ahead and step aside here on KSTJ. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball. We will be back here in about a minute's time.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop.
Wait.
Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back here at the Denny. Welcome back. 64-32 is the score. The Jackrabbits up over the Mavericks from Omaha. We're underway here in the fourth period. A couple of new faces. Anna Nikolachkina in here for the Mavericks. A jump ball quickly to start things out here. Paige Meyer coming down the floor. Burkhardt on the right baseline. Meyer. Now Mathewitz gets it. Kick over now to Meyer. Pulls up. Short range jumper good. Paige Meyer, 2 more points here. Driving inside, Nikolachkina. Paulina Nikolachkina. Now it's stolen away by Meyer. Driving to the basket. Another basket that swirls around and down for 2 more points for Meyer. She seems to be turning on the Jets a little bit. 13 points for her.
6 points for her just in this second half. Perfect from the field in the second half, actually, too. 2 of 2 from the field and 2 of 2 from the free throw line.
And a timeout coming from Omaha. Looks like it will be a full, so we'll take it with them. Be back here in 1 minute. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball on KSDJ.
With a remote control. You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
(68-32) here. 8 minutes, 43 seconds left to go. Glad to have you along with us here on KSDJ, the 2023 Summit League Women's Basketball Championships.
UNO had just as a productive third quarter as they did first half, scoring 8 in the first quarter, 8 in the second quarter, and then 16 in the third quarter, which means, of course, they're on pace to score 32 in the fourth quarter.
I think so.
Is that how math, numbers, and things?
Yeah.
All right, well, that will make it interesting then, potentially coming down the stretch here. 8 minutes, just under 9 to play. Make it a game.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. Still in timeout here. Both teams out on the floor and ready.
Crowd reacting to the look-alike cam going around. Both teams on the floor, though. Take a look here at some of the team stats. At the last break, both teams were identical, 46%, 6 of 13 from the field. Now SDSU bumped that up to 53, 8 of 15. So taking 2 more shots since that break and hit both of them. Jackrabbits also 3 of 5 from three-point range, 60% even. UNO 0 of 3 from the same distance.
Kaichis gets it in. Now we're working handoff from Gardner to Nikolachkina, Anna Nikolachkina. Inside to Gardner, working on the left wing. Fade away, doesn't even hit the basket.
Straight into the hands of Maya Salen, now going the other way.
Kick out Mathewitz on the left wing, dribbling up. Now good reversing, going back down the lane. A whistle gonna be on it. The basket missed, it bounced on the back iron. As Anna Nikolachkina
called for her first personal foul.
And Mathewitz at the line.
She breaks the ice now. Mathewitz getting her first points of the game. 1 of 1 from the free throw line.
That one front irons off. 1 of 2 on that trip. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Driving is Mitchell, now kick out to Polina Nikolachkina. Now kick out Kaichis on top for 3. Kaichis coming out of nowhere, scoring the first 3 ball for her in this game.
First three-pointer in the second half for UNO, 1 of 4.
Burkhardt, long cross-court pass down to Mathewitz on the right side. Selland cutting inside. They'll get it back out. Mathewitz for a 3 on the right.
Mathewitz starting to heat up now. It's been in for now 4 minutes. Now she has the same number of points as she does minutes played.
Polina Nikolachkina finds its way around to Mitchell, now to Anna Nikolachkina. A 3 ball from her, that hits the front iron. Falls down to Polina Nikolachkina. I'm just going to say Anna and Polina. Polina driving on the left side, spinning around, kicks out to Kaichis. Driving, now Anna. Nope, that's Polina. See, I'm going to confuse myself now here.
Well, it's a long last name to say, and think of it in the split second you need it. It's harder than it sounds, folks.
Nothing comes out of that possession from it. Mathewitz working on the left wing, Selland on the inside, and Katie Kaichis finds herself down on the floor. But it is the foul on her. Her first, second team. As Haley Timmer enters back into the contest. Paige Meyer inbounds it here. Up top, Burkhardt. Now Timmer on the right side. Gets it to Nelson. Working low right now. Burkhardt lays it up and in for 2 in the painted area.
Finds a soft spot in the zone defense of UNO and just wide open.
14 for Peyton as Nikolachkina drives inside, kick out to Kaichis on the left for 3. Anna Nikolachkina gets the assist on that one.
6 points for UNO in the quarter so far. Not quite a comeback.
Both by Kaichis. Both 3-pointers by her. Inside to Burkhardt, stolen away now. Mitchell Trying to get a fast break, has nobody with her. She drives all the way to the basket, puts it up, a kiss off of the board, and she knocks it down.
Jackrabbits now with 11 total turnovers so far in the game.
Driving left, Meyer gets the basket and the foul, driving through the lane. She'll go to the line and shoot one.
Jackrabbits already with 12 in the quarter, just about halfway done. Paige Meyer goes to the line, 2 dribbles, set, and connects. UNO right on pace, or now they have 8 points in the quarter, as Burkhart and Sellen both go to the bench.
Presumably for the rest of the game. Huge standing ovation around here. The 2 seniors for this program. Polina Nikolachkina goes up for a shot. She misses, falls down, and now Gilton dribbling up, one of the other seniors on this Jackrabbit team. They're definitely not going to be done after this one. They get the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament if they win, and that's looking extremely likely here as they're up 77-40, almost a 40-point difference.
Yeah, you'd almost have to double your total points from the first half, third quarter, and then half of the fourth quarter. You have to double all those points in about 5.5 minutes. Not likely.
I'd say it's doable, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, no,
inside the basket from Tyson. She gets an and one opportunity here. Gets to add on to her 3 points.
Tori Nelson now going to join her senior teammates. Sit down on the bench. Velocin gets her first minutes of the game, coming in to replace her.
And Tyson at the line, trying to make good on this and one. She knocks it down. She now has 6 points.
Yeah, with the exception of Drew Gilton on the floor right now, this is the future of Jackrabbit basketball. All freshmen or sophomores on the floor.
And it's a pretty bright future, if I would have to say so. Bounce it to Kaichis. Bounce it now, Anna Nikolachkina. Pump fakes the shot, gets it inside to Bilakuta. Now a kick out to Kaichis for 3, no good. Brought down by Tyson. She gives it over to Gilton on the near side. Coming up to the point. Stopping, faking the pass, gives it to Velocity on the left side. Now Gilton. Dribbling. Now Velocity on the left side, inside Tyson. Reversing on the left, just a little bit hard off the glass. It goes too far. Mitchell now coming. Kaichis a long 3. I don't know what made her do that, but she's lucky that it made it. Wow.
4 minutes and 20 seconds now in the fourth quarter remaining on that long, impressive 3.
Now coming now, Timmer. Gets it inside. Outside to Veloston, now left side, up top Timmer. Gilton, wing right. Long pass to Veloston, left for 3. Just a little bit off target. Brought down now. Going to be Kaichis. Gives it to Mitchell. Now to Anna Nikolachkina. Up top, cutting inside on the left. Too hard, and a foul.
Scoop layup, almost looks like she threw that ball up out of desperation, going to the floor, horizontal. Threw it up just in case she might be able to pull something out of it, and does. Gets a foul. No points. We're still looking for 2 points on the possession.
Third foul for Timmer, first for the Jackrabbits in the period, and a timeout. We'll take it with them. 80-43. Just under 4 minutes left to go till we crown a champion for the Summit League. Here's a hint. It's going to be the Jackrabbits. We'll be back here in 1 minute.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't
friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
3 minutes and 45 seconds till we crown a champion of the Summit League this year, 80-43. Welcome back. You're listening to Jackrabbit Women's Basketball and the 2023 Summit League Women's Basketball Championship game. Currently, the Jackrabbits are up 80-43, almost doubling the Omaha Mavericks here for the right to go to the NCAA tournament.
Definitely an impressive all-around performance by the Jackrabbits, as now they have a completely new squad in. Colbeck now getting playing time.
Yeah, we'll go down who's on the floor. We got Mathewitz, Colbeck, Velostin, Byam, and Meyer. For Omaha, it's Stanley, Bielakuta, Townsend, Kaichis, and Anna Nikolachkina. Anna is at the line, and she knocks that first one down. Her first points of the game. And the second one for Nikolachkina. That one will miss. Colbeck gives it now to the right side, Mathewitz. Inside the paint, stops, pops, and gets it up and in.
Makes it look easy coming into a full-packed Denny Sanford Premier Center.
6 points for her. Nikolachkina kicks it out now. Kaichis. She gets it to Townsend. Dribbling on the left wing. Pull up for a quick jumper. She knocks it down. 2 points for her. Her first two. Velostin gets it to Mathewitz. Inside, Brooklyn Meyer. Mesa Byam also in there. For the Jackrabbits, she's not able to get one to go. 2 minutes, 52 seconds left in this one. Inside, Kaichis. That one gets picked off, intended for Bielakuta. Brooklyn Meyer slows up shop and gets it to Colbeck. Mathewitz on the left side for three. That's a bright young freshman right there from Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. She's going to be an exceptional talent as she continues to get better in this Jackrabbit program. Stanley fumbles it a little bit, picks it back up, gets it out to Townsend, a short-range jumper. That one doesn't fall, brought down by Byam. Byam will get it to Colbeck, now to Mathewitz. Velostin, left side three. Bingo!
Didn't even see the net move. Now only two Jackrabbits who have played today have yet to score points, both of them with fewer than 2 minutes on the court. So still plenty of time for that.
Yep, timeout for substitutions here. Mitchell gonna come in, as does Brooklyn Smith. As the graduate Elena Bielakuta and the senior Aaliyah Stanley come out, hugs all around on the Mavericks sideline. They gave it a good run here, coming in as a 6th seed, making it to the championship. On the left side now, got Nikolachkina shooting it, and she knocks it down.
Yeah, definitely not the team you expected to see make it to the championship in the 6th seed. but definitely a fantastic run by UNO.
Spinning around Meyer. Off the glass, doesn't get it down, but she does get fouled on that one, so she will go to the line. Foul on Brooklyn Smith, the freshman center from Waterloo, Iowa. She's in there getting some playing time here. Averaged only 4.9 minutes throughout the season and only played in 11 games, but getting some playing time here.
More substitutions from UNO, taking out a couple seniors, couple starters.
Yeah.
Getting the new squad some experience.
Grace Cave, a sophomore for this UNO team. That first one from Meyer gets knocked down. She's already been pretty good. She's just going to keep getting better. Meyer, the second one. She knocks that down. Now 4 points for her. Yeah, Cave leads the team in assists this year and minutes averaged. She is only a sophomore, so if she doesn't transfer, she's going to be right back here for Omaha next year in a junior role, being able to be the upperclassman. Townsend working on the left. Now she cut inside. Mid-range jumper. Back irons off. Brought down now by Smith. Brooklyn Smith spinning around on Meyer. She gets it up, and it goes over Meyer, her first points. Colbeck now dribbling off the arc. 1 minute left in the game. Meyer given here. Kick out Veloston for 3.
That's 2 of 3 from three-point range for Veloston. Only taking threes, but still she's with 6 points.
The sophomore forward from Lenox, South Dakota. A lot of homegrown flavor to this Jackrabbit team, that's for sure. Smith gets it to Cave on the outside. 10 seconds on the shot clock, separated by about 22 seconds. And now the shot clock will be off as nothing came of that. Colbeck will get it across the timeline, dribble it out. And the Jackrabbits will be the 2023 Summit League Tournament champions. Colbeck dribbles it out, 7, 6, 5, 2, 1. The South Dakota State women's basketball team is going back to the NCAA tournament. It's the automatic bid from the Summit League. 93-51, they defeat the Mavericks of Omaha in the Summit League Tournament Championship game here this afternoon.
Still a lot of people hanging around too for the post-game festivities. Get the ladder out, cut down the nets, present some trophies.
The band playing in the background, the fans all around clapping along with the school song. We'll go ahead and take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll take a look at some stats, get you set up, and talk about some other tickets being punched today and coming up here in the next couple of days, and maybe preview a little bit the NCAA tournament. So we'll go ahead and step aside here. We'll be back here in 3 minutes in right here on KSDJ.
I spent a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in '09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time.
Ugh.
Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch.
Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and the JED Foundation.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash. Fantastic. Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here to the 2023 Summit League Women's Basketball Championship game. Broadcast 93-51, the final score. The South Dakota State Jackrabbits are the 2023 Summit League champions. They will head to the NCAA tournament for a chance to play for a national championship, really, if you want to get really ambitious. I mean, a smaller school, a mid-major school, not many times are going to make it that far, but there's a chance.
Yeah, this team is good. I don't know if national championship is on the line. Obviously, it's in their sights, but realistically, this team could make a deep run, tying that Sweet 16, or dare I say even further than that.
Potentially. Well, the trophy presentation and everything like that will be happening in front of us. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats, and then we will run through a couple of the other tickets that are being punched here soon. So take it away, Paul.
Quickly run through the top scorers for UNO here. Katie Keitschge's finished the game just exactly 21.5 minutes played. Finished the game with 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting from the floor, 3 of 5 from three-point range. She finished with 11 points and 2 rebounds and a total plus-minus of -33. Second leading scorer for the Mavericks, Polina Nikolokina, finished just under 18 minutes played on the floor. Finished the game with 8 points on 3 of 6 shooting from the field. Perfect from three-point range, 2 of 2. Finished the game with 8 points and a total plus-minus of -16. Last two players for the Mavericks, the two seniors, tied for 6 total points in the game. Aaliyah Stanley finished with just over 23 minutes played, 6 points on 1 of 8 shooting from the floor, 0 of 3 from three-point range, but was perfect from the free throw line, 4 of 4. She finished with 6 points and 5 rebounds and 2 assists for a total plus-minus of -15. The other senior on this squad, Alina Pilakuta, finished with just under 28.5 minutes played, 6 total points on 3 of 5 shooting from the floor. Her 6 points come along with 5 total rebounds, a total plus-minus of -29. As a squad, the red and black finished the game shooting 34% from the field, 18 of 53, 35% from 3, 6 of 17, and 90% from the free throw line, 9 of 10. The ratio for Mavericks assists to turnovers, 11 assists to 17 turnovers. Jackrabbits took those 17 turnovers and turned them into 29 points on the other end. Taking a look at some other players for UNO, other contributors, a couple players with 4 points here, a couple with 2. Grace Kay finished the game with 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting from the field. Kennedy Grant finished also with 4 points, 1 of 6 shooting from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Sam Mitchell finished with 4 total points, 1 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Jalen Townsend finished 1 of 4 from the field for 2 points. Brooklyn Smith finished 1 of 1 from the field for 2 points. And Anna Nikolochkina finished with 4 points on 1 of 2 shooting from the field. Taking a look at the Jackrabbits, their main contributors, of course, Haley Timmer went on a little bit of a tear here during this game, scoring a lot of points. She finished the game with 18 total points in just under 27 minutes of play on 7 of 8 shooting from the field, 4 of 4 from three-point range. She finished with 18 points, 3 total rebounds, 1 assist, and 3 fouls. Her total plus-minus is positive 26. Second leading scorer for the Jackrabbits, Paige Meyer, finished with 16 total points, 5 of 6 from the field in just under 26 minutes, 1 of 1 from three-point range, and was perfect from the free throw line, 5 of 5. 16 total points, 5 total rebounds, 4 assists. Total plus-minus for her, 28. Third leading scorer for the Jackrabbits, Peyton Burkhart, played just under 25 minutes, was taken out for the second half of that fourth quarter. She played for those 25 minutes, got 14 total points, 5 of 10 shooting from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range, perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Her 14 total points come along with 3 assists and 3 steals for the Jackrabbits, a total plus-minus of positive 30. Jackrabbits as a squad shot an even 62% from the field, 31 of 50, and 68% from 3, 13 of 19, and 3/4 from the free throw line, 18 of 24, 75%. Jackrabbits assist turnover ratio 20 assists to 11 turnovers, so a fantastic game for them, not turning the ball over and spreading the love around on the team. The score, Jackrabbits held the lead for this whole game. Their biggest lead was 42 with just over 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Biggest run, 15 points, just over 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Score by period here, Omaha in the first had 8 points, SDSU 21. Omaha 8 points. In the second, 23 for SDSU. In the third quarter, Omaha 16, SDSU 20. In the fourth quarter, final frame, SDSU 19. SDSU 29, Omaha 19. Total, your final score here, 51-93. South Dakota State takes the lead. Again, your leading scorers, Katie Keichkes for Omaha, 4 of 7 shooting, 3 of 5 from three-point range, 11 points. And your leader for the Jackrabbits, Haley Timmer, 18 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 4 of 4 from three-point range. as the festivities continue here in the Denny Sanford Premier Center, we're going to go ahead and take a short break here. They're presenting just a couple team awards, individual awards to players on the floor. We're going to go ahead and give them a minute to do that. Step away for just about 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll have more post-game information for you, a little bit of look at the awards that just were presented, and then maybe a little bit of look at the bracket and how that might shake out for the #1 seed, South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more KSDJ post-game show right after this.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Space.
South Dakota State Jackrabbits currently being honored here as Summit League champions, 93-51. Thank you, Paul. 93-51, the final score. Individual awards being given out. You hear AJ being announced over the loudspeaker here. Crowd goes crazy. Yeah, just an amazing run really throughout the regular season, and to finish it in the postseason so far here, to become the Summit League championship.
Yeah, fantastic game by the Jackrabbits. Fantastic season. Played well the whole time, dominating the entire Summit, not only just the Summit League tournament, but the whole Summit League. Able to play and have that undefeated season, finishing ultimately 18-0 in the Summit League. Now getting a bath of confetti, a shower of confetti. Not yellow and blue, but we'll take it.
Yeah, amazing scenes here. The Jackrabbits are Summit League champions once again. Individual awards were given out. The SDSU Pet Band's going to get ready to play here. The team gathered around the Summit League championship trophy. Let's go ahead and outline these individual awards. Looking at the all-tournament team from Kansas City, Mensa. From South Dakota State, Haley Timmer. From South Dakota State, Maya Selland. From Omaha, Elena Pilakuta. And from South Dakota State, Paige Myers. So again, that's Mana Mensa from Kansas City, Haley Timmer, Maya Selland, Paige Meyer from South Dakota State, and from Nebraska, Omaha, Elena Pilikuta.
All those players had fantastic seasons. Seeing Mensa play she played fantastic for UMKC, carrying them as far as they did. She was definitely instrumental in their success, coming in as a number 10 seed and then making it all the way until the semifinals, playing UNO, a team that made it to the championship. It's a fantastic season for them.
Yeah, she was an instrumental part of that. All of those players, obviously, those 3 from South Dakota State, and then obviously for obvious reasons, I mean, they're the one up there holding the trophy, but then you have Elena Pilikuta from Omaha, an excellent talent in her graduate student center, coming from Cyprus, leading the team in points, averaging 13.5, and field goal percentage. Actually was 6th best in the country. She's an excellent talent too. So again, Mensa, Timmer, Selland, Pilikuta, and Meyer, the all-tournament team. And then they announced the tournament MVP, and this is what I had brewing in my mind the whole time. She's been such an instrumental part of this run for South Dakota State. Haley Timmer. She's the 2023 Summit League Tournament MVP.
I wasn't able to hear the presentation of the awards with the headphones and reading through the stats, but if I had to guess, that's who I would have picked for the MVP, especially of this game, popping off and carrying the team early on, remaining perfect from the field.
Yeah, it definitely an excellent game, not only today but throughout the tournament as well. So looking at the bracket, South Dakota State's road here got a little bit easier when they clinched the number 1 seed. They defeated St. Thomas, the 8th seed, 87-51, advancing to the semifinals, where they beat the 5th seed Oral Roberts 87-60. And then today here in Sioux Falls, defeating the Omaha Mavericks, the 6th seed, 93-51, to become the 2023 Summit League champions. So now they get the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Quickly shifting gears, I know. Conference champions, oh no, we're already talking about the tournament, but that starts next week.
Right, spring break time for us.
Yeah. Looking at this, there is a little thing on ESPN.com by Charlie Cream that outlines the bracketology, and right now, where he has SDSU sitting at is in the Austin region, in the Seattle area, part of the bracket, in the Seattle 4 bracket. Has them as an automatic qualifier matching up against a 5th seed in Louisville. And also in that region going to be Texas as an automatic qualifier and Green Bay as an automatic qualifier. Again, this isn't what's happening, but this is what that person specifically thinks is going to happen. Something to note, we beat Louisville. South Dakota State already beat Louisville back when they were ranked number 4 in the country.
Early on in the season.
Yeah, at the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis. So that's something to keep an eye on. If that is how it shakes out, we have beaten Louisville before, and that's who we would match up in the first round of the NCAA tournament if this does happen in Austin, Texas. Just a quick look, ESPN also, thank goodness, they broadcasted this tournament, so I got to give some love to them. It's
sure,
like ESPNU. Well, they didn't broadcast the tournament, they broadcast this game.
The championship, and banners are still hanging up over on the other side of the court.
for tonight when it's going to be on ESPN2, but this game was on ESPNU. Got to give them some love. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the automatic qualifiers coming from other conferences here. Over in the Ohio Valley Conference, the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, 22-9. They beat Little Rock 54-46 in the championship game. In the SoCon Conference, Chattanooga, the Mocs, 20-12 record. They beat Wofford 63-53. In the Atlantic 10, St. Louis Billikens, 17-17, a nice 500 record, an automatic qualifier for the NCAA tournament, 95-81 win in overtime over UMass. Over in the ACC, Virginia Tech, the Hokies 27-4. They beat Louisville 75-67, and that's why Louisville would not be the automatic qualifier for the ACC. And then you look at the SEC, no surprise here. South Carolina, the Gamecocks, never relinquished the #1 ranking all year. Actually beat the South Dakota team right here in Sioux Falls, not in this arena, but over at the Pentagon. Right at the beginning of Christmas break there. They beat Tennessee 88-74. In the Big Ten, Iowa Hawkeyes, again, no surprises there. Caitlin Clark's team getting that. They have a 26-6 record. They beat Ohio State 105-72.
A nail-biter.
A nail-biter, absolutely. In the Pac-12, Washington State coming up over that, defeating UCLA 65-61. They have a 23-10 record. In the Big South, Gardner-Webb, again, one of those teams with the longest active winning streak here. The other one being South Carolina. Gardner-Webb, 29-4. They beat High Point 74-61 in the Big South tournament. In the Sun Belt, got James Madison, 26-7, an 81-51 win over Texas State in the Sun Belt Championship. In the Big East, UConn, again, no surprise here, led by, oh man, I forgot her name. Paige Beckers. There you go.
There we go.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul, for nothing.
I knew who you were talking about.
That doesn't count. 29-5 is their record. 67-56 a win over Villanova in the Big East Championship, and then Horizon, the Cleveland State Vikings, 30-4 over 30-4 record, 73-61 win over Green Bay. So just to recap here, not going to go through all that again, but in the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles, in the SoCon, Chattanooga Mocs, the Atlantic 10, St. Louis Billikens, the Virginia Tech Hokies, in the ACC and the SEC, South Carolina Gamecocks, in the Big Ten, Iowa Hawkeyes, in the Pac-12, Washington State Cougars, in the Big South, Gardner-Webb Runnin' Bulldogs, in the Sun Belt, James Madison Dukes, in the Big East, UConn Huskies, and in the Horizon, the Cleveland State Vikings. Those are all teams that have clinched it so far, and now the South Dakota State Jackrabbits can etch their name right in next to them as the next team to qualify. Another bracket that is going to be getting their automatic qualifier today is happening in Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Tonight, the West Coast Conference will be finishing out their game. In fact, it is on right now, and currently Portland is leading the 16th ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs 9-7. That game is on ESPNU starting directly after this one. In fact, that's about 4 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first period. So that's the other one that's automatically qualifying today. Just looking at some of the other ones, Big Sky going to be qualifying tomorrow, as well as the Mountain West, and then the Southland the day after that. There's still lots of conferences to go through. The Southland, the American America East, the MAC, the SWAC, the MAAC, the MEAC, the Ivy, the Conference USA, the Big West, the WAC, the American Sun, the NEC, the Patriot League, the Big 12, the CAA, and the Missouri Valley. All of those still have to qualify, but the South Dakota Jackrabbits are one of them. And if things shape out like that one guy think it's going to be, they think they're going to be playing in Austin, Texas against a Louisville team that lost in their conference championship.
That would be a good trip to take. Get down to
hint,
Austin,
hint,
Texas.
Paul? Could you hint any harder there?
Well, not just for me or for you, but for the whole team. Get some out of the snow, 20 inches or so down here in Sioux Falls a couple days ago, maybe a week and a half ago now, and then, like you mentioned, beat Louisville earlier in the season. Sets them up to succeed.
It does. And again, that is not set in stone. Selection Sunday is next Sunday. So make sure to tune in to that to figure out who we're going to be playing.
Yeah, who and where and when. And
all that type of stuff.
All the important stuff.
Exactly. Just going to take a look at the men's championship really quick here before we head out. First seed Oral Roberts taking on the third seed North Dakota State. NDSU beat South Dakota State last night in a hard-fought, emotional game, a 10-point win for them, 89-79. The Jackrabbits sure wish they could be there in the championship, but North Dakota State really deserved it.
Yeah, they played a fantastic game. They're the one that deserve, based on the performance of last night, definitely NDSU. is the one that should be going to the championship.
A young team facing off against the overwhelming favorite Oral Roberts, undefeated conference season, just like these Jackrabbits here on the women's side. They're looking to kind of do the same thing that the Jackrabbits did to the Mavericks, except this time it's Oral Roberts over the Bison.
Yeah, it'll be a tough battle for them. Oral Roberts sure does look good, don't they?
They do. Oh, man. They're a really good basketball team. We will not have that one here for you on KSDJ. But if you are so inclined to watch it, that will be on ESPN2. Tip-off at 8 o'clock, so you can tune in to that one. You can also tune in on each respective radio networks of both Oral Roberts and North Dakota State, if you are so inclined. Adam Hildebrand for the Oral Roberts Sports Network, the ORU Sports Network, and Rob Hipp for the Bison Radio Network. Both are great guys, great at what they do, a lot better than me. So if you want actually good radio, go listen to them. Anyway, I think that's going to do that for us here. Final score, 93-51. The South Dakota State Jackrabbits, they're going dancing. They are going to the NCAA tournament once again.
And they're looking dangerous.
They're looking really dangerous. From all of us here at KSDJ, I want to thank you for listening. For all of us that make this possible, starting from the top, Brian Stemwedel, our faculty advisor, Catherine Jones, our station manager, Matthew Wieberding for helping us engineer sometimes, Catherine Jones also as well. And then Brian there back there this afternoon, making sure that we get on air, sound pretty, and everything like that. For all of us here at KSDJ, I'm Braden Byers for Paul Monson. If this is the last basketball broadcast of the season, it's been fun.
It's been a good season.
It's been really fun. Hope to do it again with you sometime, even though you're graduating.
Yeah, silly degree and stuff.
yeah, that type of stuff. Hope to do it again in another setting. But from all of us here at KSDJ, I want to thank you for listening. Final score, 93-51. South Dakota State advances to the NCAA tournament. Hope you have a great rest of your night. And as always, go Jacks.